If you're someone who wants to make progress in training, you want to gain some strength or gain some muscle, one of the most important things you're going to want to try and do is to log the weights that you're lifting, the sets you're doing, and the reps that you're doing. The reason is because it simplifies the process of making progress. And it does that by allowing you to look at previous weeks and look at the same exercise and see what you did last week, and then be able to make adjustments and changes. So then when you go forward, you can increase the load or increase the rep. The logging of your weights is super important for progress because it just means that I can incrementally, week to week, step up what I'm trying to do. Step up the number of reps, step up the weight that I'm using. And this is part of the reason why I love a rep range. So when I go into the gym and I'm going onto the belt squats and I'm going to do 2 sets, I'm going to do a set of 6 to 8, and then I'm going to do a set of 12 to 15, for example. That rep range allows me some room to try and gain strength in multiple ways, or at least to gain progress in multiple ways. You gain progress in multiple ways through going, right, last week I did a set of 8 reps at 120 kilos. This week I'm going to do a set of 8 reps at 125 kilos. And then if you keep going weeks to week, there may be a point where it's like, right, I'm now at 160 kilos, but I cannot add any more. I cannot keep hitting 8 reps. I'm going to hit 7 reps. But that's still progress because the weight's still going up. So from a week to week perspective and trying to increase strength and increase muscle, it comes simply down to trying to get stronger. So like if you're trying to gain muscle, getting stronger is going to be your biggest indicator that you are gaining muscle. And if you're trying to get stronger, putting weight on the bar is going to be the prime indicator that you're getting stronger. The problem is you won't be able to just add weight and weight and weight for multiple reasons. If you're thinking of barbell back squats, for example, trying to increase weight week on week on week, it will just get to a point where you're just too fatigued. So we need to deload you, so drop weight, drop some volume, and then we can start to build back up again, because that the deload, the weights themselves are going to be the thing which are stopping you from progressing. But logging your weights will allow you to look back at previous weeks and then to try and make progress week to week. The one thing I would be very conscious of is the weight jumps that you make. So we talk about micro loading when it comes to increasing load on the bar or increasing load on your machine that you're using. And micro loading would be anywhere from like a kilo on each, like a kilo in total, so half a kilo on each side of the bar, all the way up to like 2.5 kilos. So that is what we would call a micro loading. And the reason I like that is because if you think you add a kilo every week, over a year, that's 50 kilos. And if I said to you, you could put 50 kilos on your bench press, you would take that every single day. So micro loading is going to be really, really important, and not doing too big of a jumps. Sometimes I will give a percentage rather than a weight. So I will say increase the load by anywhere from 1 to 5% each week. And the reason I say that is because that gives you a really good little gap to sit within, which means that some weeks you can come in and increase by a big amount, some weeks you come in and you increase by a small amount. And I think having a good idea on different machines as to how you increase in the way you do it is going to be great. So like when I think of like lower body movements, I could probably increase a lot more than I can on my upper body movements. So if I'm going to go on a belt squat, I may be able to increase the load by 5 kilos each week or even 10 kilos each week. If I'm going onto a leg extension, it might be 5 kilos each week. If I'm maybe 7.5. But if I'm doing an upper body session, maybe my like chest press machine that I'm doing, maybe that is only 2.5 to 5 kilos increase each week. And then I would go down to say a tricep movement. Well, that's going to be less again because it's a smaller muscle. It's an isolated muscle. It's not going to be able to increase load the same as the others. And being able to log your weights and then make these micro jumps forward is going to be a big thing in helping you to gain muscle and to gain strength. It's such a small little thing, but just week to week, what did I do last week? How many sets? How many reps? What weight did I lift? Could I now increase the weight by a micro load of half a kilo each side, so 1 kilo to 2.5 kilos? And then can I steal an extra rep? Can I do one more rep within that? And that is progress, and you just keep doing that forever and ever and ever, and that's basically how you gain muscle and get bigger and stronger. And just be careful not to make too big of a weight jump.